We're going streaking! Yes!
All right, you're listening to Going Streaking Sports, the only show that promotes not wearing a condom and pulling and praying. You're listening to a show that's going to be very lively, a show that's going to make you reconsider your life and see the world for the first time. Going Streaking, we talk about the naked truth on sports, politics, pop culture, sex, life in general. I'm El Guapo, and with me is my co-host, Jed. And Jed, what do we have in store for our listeners today?
What's up, everybody? We are going to be talking about a new member of the Cosby list. We're also going to be talking about NFL action in regards to head coaches being fired or keeping their jobs. We're also going to be talking about life itself when it comes to sending girls a nice picture. And the big mouse himself is considering to taking out the fox. And as always, our NFL picks.
All right, well, we're playing Goodbye Horses for Q Lazarus because we're starting off with the Cosby Report. And if you listened to last week's show, you know that's a.k.a. the Pervert Report. So, there is a new addition to the Cosby list this week. Jed, you want to tell everybody who's the latest pervert to be added to the Cosby list?
Let's play a little game of Can You Guess Who? Let's just say his last name rhymes with Poon. He is a professional athlete. He's not active right now. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer.
He is a Hall of Famer.
He is a Hall of Famer. Oh, shit. So he joins this Hall of Fame.
And he played for the Houston Oilers, the Minnesota Vikings,
and the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, the Seattle Seahawks.
It is the one, the only, Warren Moon.
It's a shame.
Yes. And it's quite unfortunate because, you know, he's been always considered highly recognizable as a guy of society, contributing. He shows up every now and then on SportsCenter and Fox Sports 1, contributing his insight on the NFL today, even especially the concussions. But it's kind of sad. He officially lawyered up today, and he denies the claims. But as society has brought it to us since the Cosby era, the Harvey Weinstein winter solstice.
Hell, Al Franken resigned yesterday.
Yeah.
Senator from Minnesota.
Roy Moore is still running for office.
Yeah, and again, two wrongs don't make a right, folks. But at the end of the day, at least, you know, I was going to say Stuart Smalley because that's who Al Franken, who he played on SNL. That was one of his characters. Yeah. So, to me, Al Franken, Stuart Smalley, at least he apologized. He admitted he fucked up, and he resigned. So if Al Franken could do that, Roy Moore should, take lead. Because let me tell you something. Whether you vote red, you vote blue, or you vote green.
Or purple.
Yeah. In the words of the dude, this aggression will not stand. Man,
no.
If you fucked up, don't run, or admit you fucked up, and resign. There's no use in denying it. It's just embarrassing. So, I think Al Franken, even though he fucked up, at least he admitted the fact. And I'm just going to play a quick soundbite from his famed SNL character Stuart Smalley.
Share of happy. I refuse to beat myself up. I am an attractive person. I am fun to be with. Daily affirmation with Stuart Smalley. I'm going to do a terrific show today, and I'm going to help people because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
So people like him, all right, and he's still resigned.
Hey, he can resign doesn't mean that he can't run for office again.
That's true. So, I think Al Franken, he was added to the perv list. Warren Moon. It seems like every week it's somebody new. One of my buddies, we joked that the reason why all of this shit is happening is, he said, the death of Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner had a force field around all the perverts, and when Hugh Hefner died, that force field.
I think
disappeared.
Hugh Hefner just yelled at you and threw a Star Wars toy kit at you.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah,
but
he said, stop talking about me.
But I mean, we're joking here, but if you look at the timeline, it is kind of eerie. Since Hugh's death,
he was like the bodyguard.
He was, man. I mean, he was the Mother Teresa for perverts. He embraced. I don't know if he embraced sexually assaulting women or messing around with underage girls, but I mean, hey, the guy was obviously a fan of titties. So
he was the Rodney King for sex offenders. He was like, why can't we all just get alone and look at a magazine?
No, God! No, God, please, no!
You think that's how Roy Moore felt today after Franken resigned? Because now this just puts more pressure on him.
Yeah, like Republicans, they were basically saying that Democrats really don't have a leg to stand on to make any judgments in regards to Roy Moore running for office when they condone Al Franken. You had about 6 female politicians in the Democratic Party basically pushed for him to resign. And he didn't push that much back, and so be it. There he is. He's no longer part of the Democratic Party as a senator, so to speak.
Well,
he may be the mayor of San Antonio one day.
Al Franken?
Yeah,
because
he's exciting.
He's good enough, he's smart enough, and people
Come
like him.
after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
I'm sorry. This is kind of old news, but Mike Gundy turned down the Tennessee job because he's a man.
Yeah.
And I think he's beyond 40 now. But
I'm a man, I'm 50. How about that?
But in regards to the University of Tennessee, they did hire a coach.
Yeah, some guy named Pruitt.
He's the defensive coordinator for Alabama.
I enjoyed a lot more making fun of them.
Yeah, nobody really gives a shit.
Yeah. So just to say that, our saga of making fun of Tennessee has stopped, sadly. And a good coach that I adored when I was a Jets fan has officially gotten a job at the Arizona State University, and that is Herman Edwards.
Yeah, and I'm gonna play a quick clip, just kind of giving you an idea of Herm and his passion for the game of football.
Some people will question, well, you haven't coached in a long time. You haven't been on the field. Turn the TV on Wednesday. I'll be back in studio in Bristol. And I'll be coaching football, by the way. That's what I do. I coach football. And I've been coaching football my whole life. And this is why I'm here today, because of the vision. There's something that a great former player said here. Pat Tillman. He said, when he talked about passion, he said it ignites your soul. Football ignites my soul. It's what makes me go.
And he
This is
plays
what
to
I
win
do.
the game.
I've done this my whole life. And some people will say, well, you haven't coached in 9 years. There's a man that I played for. And you'll know who he is. His name is Dick Vermeil. That man walked out of Philadelphia's locker room when he was burnt out. The first person he saw in that locker room was me. Because I played for him. He was like my second father. 13 13 years later, after he retired from being on television, ended up being a pretty good coach, didn't he? He didn't forget how to coach. You don't forget how to coach. They're not bringing me here to play. I can't play. Although I'll tell you, I got one hit left. I can't play. But I got one left. I'm not here to play. I'm here to build a program on top of the foundation that's already been built here.
So, Jet, you are a Jets fan, and I know you loved Herm. So, does seeing this passion make you miss him being the Jets head coach?
I'm going to be really looking forward to pressers on Thursdays next year in 2018. Shoot, I might even watch spring football for Arizona State.
I think I'm going to be an Arizona State fan. Yeah. Just because, everyone's like, oh, I'm a Notre Dame fan, or I'm a Longhorn, or I'm an Aggie, or, whatever the fuck, Miami, the Gators, the list goes on. You got those big schools that, Oklahoma, and you have people that are just T-shirt fans. Yeah. They don't have any affiliation with the university. They don't have family that's been there. They just, for whatever reason, like the team. So Herm Edwards is why I'm going to root for Arizona State.
Yeah. I'm a Rutgers fan. I probably will still be rooting for them, but anytime that I could watch Arizona State, I probably will make that appointment television.
And you're going to at least root for them.
Yeah, I will, for sure. The only unfortunate thing is, it's on the Pac-12 network they're mostly on, and they're not covered on DirecTV. They're not covered on freaking, what do we have here? Google Fiber.
So what you're saying is we're going to have to go to a bar that just so happens to have the Pac-12 network.
Yes, I'm going to have to spend my happy hour money to watch Arizona State football.
Hey, but no, real talk, though. I know we try to make some jokes here, whether you guys find it funny or not. But I actually really do like Herm Edwards. As a Cowboys fan, I would take Herm Edwards over Jason Garrett any day of the week. Mm-hmm. So for me, I thought he brought up a really great point with Dick Vermeil coming back. Hell, won a Super Bowl with the Rams. And hell, didn't he coach the Chiefs for a little bit with Trent Green and Priest Holmes? And they had some pretty good seasons
Matt Castle.
there. Yeah.
Well,
no, not Herm Edwards. Dick Vermeil.
Dick Vermeil?
Yeah,
yes.
Dick Vermeil. And then I think that's when Herm Edwards took
because,
over.
like you said, he was one of his players.
Yeah, didn't Dick Vermeil recommend Herm Edwards?
Yes. And
when he retired?
Yeah, because, his health was in question, and he suggested Herm. Herm was under contract with the Jets. And, he jettisoned his way to Kansas City. He never got fired from New York, which is like, shit, man. This guy was like
he was a good coach.
Yeah, Rex Ryan says he doesn't want to kiss, Bill Belichick's rings. Can you just imagine? This guy got hired just around almost the same time as Bill Belichick. He would have been able to hang if it wasn't for the whole Dick Vermeil situation. He would have probably still been a Jets coach right now and probably been a staple. He would be what I like to call the Black Popovich.
Hey, the fact that the Jets never called Herm back up surprises me. You would think they'd say, "Hey, Herm, you want to come back?" I think you would have entertained it.
Yeah, but sometimes you have a salty mouth, like the way that it departed.
Yeah, maybe him and Woody Johnson ended on bad terms.
Not maybe in bad terms. It's just that you just like a bad breakup. You maybe if you had harsh feelings, or it's just if one of the people left for somebody else, right? And that blew up in their face, and then they come crawling back to you. You're prideful. You don't want to, get back together with them because, you thought there's better things out there. and you want to call back to moi?
Okay, that makes sense. That's fair.
Yeah.
What the hell else was I gonna say?
The few brain farts you get on a podcast.
Yeah, well, Morpheus is our guest podcaster today.
Yeah.
He's a dog, and Morpheus, what are your thoughts on Herm Edwards? Again, folks, he's not the best dog podcaster in the business for nothing. So that was some great insight from Morpheus.
Yeah. Well, to keep it in the press box, there was a big incident that happened not too long ago.
Oh, with Mike Mitchell, the Pittsburgh Steelers, correct?
Yeah, Mike Mitchell. I didn't know who the fuck this guy was a couple of days ago. But you might want to do not the 1 minute. There's like a 2-3 minute clip. And
yeah, there's several different clips. Hell, let's see. There's a 3-minute long one here.
Yeah, I think that one's the one that I heard. Pause it quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hate fucking commercials. Thank you.
Yeah,
YouTube.
commercials suck.
Yeah. So I don't know if y'all know. There was a gruesome game on Monday Night Football. The Steelers versus the Kansas City.
No, Steelers Bengals.
Damn it.
And they hate each other.
I still got Herm Edwards on the mind. Yes, the Cincinnati Bengals. And 2 players went down. One is going to be able to play possibly this week or next. And that's Vontaze Burfict, who got clocked by Juju Smith-Schuster, who was trying to hit a block. And he got suspended for that game coming up this week. And then there was a Ryan Shazier, just a regular football player, right? Just a regular football player. And he goes down for the count. And people were in good spirits Tuesday morning. They said that they felt he had movement in his arms and his limbs and everything. But believe it or not, when more information came out as the days go by, his spine was not stable. And he has spinal stabilization surgery in Pittsburgh this week. I think it was yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, his football career is over.
Sad. And I can say that just as a human being. Just because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan and the Cowboys and Steelers had, a big rivalry, I'm not going to sit here and cheer when another human being gets hurt.
No.
It's not right. And I know there are fans that they do get excited to see a player get hurt. And I'm not going to lie. When I was a younger kid, I liked seeing the sight of a player that I hated on the opposing team get hurt. But you grow up, you become an adult, you realize it's a game, it's entertainment. And as fans, I know we can get heated up at times. We're passionate about our teams. But let's look at reality, man. These guys, when they lose a game, they go home to their mansions.
Yeah.
And, us watching a football game on a Saturday or a Sunday or Thursday or Monday, whenever they air the game, that's our little escape from reality. So, it's our form of entertainment. And when you have your heart invested in following this team, especially if it's your hometown team, you can take the losses personally. But at the same time, we have to remember it is a game. These guys are getting paid to do this. And at the end of the day, as long as nobody's dead or nobody got seriously injured, it's a win. So yeah. It's unfortunate, but I think did you want to go ahead and play the clip?
Before you go there, like you and I are working class people. When we go to work every day, is there really truthfully any hazards on my job or your job? Probably your one hazard is probably falling out of bed. Mine is, mine is going through traffic. But other than construction workers, police officers, firefighters, those are probably the ones with the highest risk on a daily basis that they deal with. That I feel is in equal footing in regards to a football player.
Yeah.
People are probably gonna argue with me. Oh, cops can die. Cops can die while in the line of duty. So can firemen. Believe it or not, football players can too. There have been football players who have actually died. Hasn't happened in the NFL yet. It's happened in high school. It's happened in college, and a lot of these guys say they're not targeting one another to hurt one another. But believe it or not, I think a lot of the fundamental issue is that they're not wrapping up. They're more focused on launching their bodies to give that boomstick, so to speak, to give that shock value, whether it be with their shoulders,
that highlight
with their
hit.
head.
They're looking to get paid. Exactly.
It's the matter of properly tackling, wrapping your arms up, and that honestly is what is one of the biggest issues here that leads to a lot of concussions and a lot of injuries like this. So
I mean, hell, me just playing football in middle school, getting hit. I had torn retinas, had to get laser surgery. So it's serious shit. It's a brutal game. And, let's go ahead and this is safety Mike Mitchell of the Pittsburgh Steelers going on a rant about the NFL in general. And his thoughts about, concussions, getting fined, and all that jazz.
Have to play full-speed contact football, and we're not doing that. I feel like I got to ask a guy, hey, are you ready for me to hit you right now before I hit you? And that's crazy. I'm going to mess around and get hurt trying to protect an offensive player because he's running an over route. Your quarterback shouldn't have threw that ball messed up. That happened 2 years ago. I'm not joking at all. Andy Dalton threw a ball to Tyler Eifert 2 years ago. Tyler Eifert had to dive for it. I was aiming for his gut. But if he don't dive, he don't get in the head. That's $50,000 out of my pocket, though, because Andy throws a bad ball. Make that make sense. And at first you're taking our money, but now, I got like Matt Hasselbeck calling me a dirty player and trying my character, and we've never met before.
Whoa. Well, guess what? OCU Manure responded, saying, whoa, are players really this dumb? Hate to say it, but come on. Former players have died and are dying horrible deaths because of head trauma, and you're complaining because the league is taking steps to at least try and reduce it? Make it flag football? Ridiculous.
now, almost to the core of what I was just saying.
Exactly.
OCU Manora is a Pro Bowl lineman that used to play for the New York Giants. No longer is he. And he has a point, that the NFL is trying to make ways to make it better. But in regards to it, you got to think about how Mike Mitchell's putting it is that, you're going to find a guy who is possibly targeting the right section. We're talking about physics here, And just because it was a bad throw, he has to re-alter his body in the middle of the air and accidentally hit somebody in the head. That's also another point on the spectrum that needs to be considered here. Granted, maybe you're not going to find him that horribly because maybe he wasn't really truthfully targeting him. Probably just low in the blow because the hit did actually happen.
No, and I hear what you're saying. I guess my biggest thing is, like you're saying, the physics of it. If you're playing safety and, you're seeing that receiver about to, catch the ball, whether that's over the middle or deep down the field, your job is to stop that receiver or tight end. So if you're taking a certain angle to make that tackle, that legal tackle, but that player moves a different way, or as Mike Mitchell said, the quarterback throws the ball in a position to put that receiving target in a bad position to get hit. I mean, if you're already, moving your body as the defender to go in to either A, break up the pass, or A, going for the tackle, to me, it's really tough to stop your momentum.
Yeah.
From going. So I see where Mitchell's coming from, man. Mostly I played offensive line, so my job was more just pushing people around than tackling people.
You got to risk more of your knees. That's the bigger one.
Yeah. So you. I never, I played defense in practice. I think I might have played 2 snaps in my entire middle school football playing career in a game. And that was it. I think I was playing nose tackle, and they didn't even run it my way. But point is, you just got to look at it from 2 sides of the coin here, and just remember, football is a brutal sport. So there is going to have to be a day of reckoning, so to speak. Could you see in 20 years, maybe less, football becoming flag football? No, seriously. Could you see it becoming that? Look at that movie with Will Smith a few years back. The concussions, the toll that it could take on these guys mentally, their quality of life. Now, yes, I know they get paid a shitload of money and they're compensated well, but quality of life, man. You can have all the money in the world, and yeah, you might be able to pay the medical bills, but are you really going to be having a decent quality of life?
They say that football is America's game. Besides baseball, football is the only sport that really was created on this soil.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people love and endear it because, you know, they remember having catch with their father, or, you know, that annual Thanksgiving game where they're, you know, playing two-hand touch. But honestly, you know, you have shit like this in regards to the hits with concussions and the finding. You had the whole Roger Goodell situation where everybody's going after one another. FYI, everybody, Roger Goodell got an extension, $40 million. Did it dilly. And then you got the kneeling issue. There's so much minutia going on in regards to the NFL that it's taking away from the actual game. And as a fan, this has become a lot of white noise. I'm just focused on the damn game. And then their question is, ratings are down too.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot of this conversation is happening because ratings are down. They want to dissect anything that is damaging to the reputation to the NFL, that is causing the NFL to lose money and revenue dollars and attendance. Attendance is shit. If you ever see a LA Chargers game, they barely can fit a 22,000 seat stadium. And honestly, I don't know about you. I don't know when the last time you went to an NFL game, but I haven't been in an NFL game for 4 years, and there's a big reason why for that. I see that the NFL is a more enjoyable game on the sidelines of me watching it from my own comfort home and watching the crap that I see on, you know, television of everybody fighting one another.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
And
that's that's what I'd love to tell Goodell.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, you know, football is fucking boring if you're physically there.
Yeah.
Like, and I think, honestly, one of the reasons why you see these big-ass hits is because you can hear it in the stadium. People are like, ooh, oh, that's exciting, because they were probably in the middle of a nap and they woke up. So the whole sport's been disarray, and it's kind of unfortunate because that's almost basically the foundation of our podcast.
No, and you're 100% right, man. And I think it goes beyond the whole flag thing.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, right now, I don't give a fuck. That's a completely different can of worms, and I know we've discussed it before. But to me, football's becoming an ass whip because of Roger Goodell. In my opinion, and yeah, none of this money comes out of my pocket, obviously, but if you're going to have players worried about taking a shit and then getting fined,
Yeah.
you know, the quality on the field in terms of the quality of play, the quality of entertainment is going to go down. If you're going to, you know, start, you know, taking, you know, star players out of the game for allegations. Listen, whether you like Ezekiel Elliott or not, whether you like Tom Brady or not, some of these reasons why these star players have been suspended have been bogus. There's never been any actual proof that any of these players that Goodell has suspended actually did anything wrong. It was all speculation.
It's like a Minority Report. You're guilty because of you connecting yourself to it. And it's not necessarily actually happening or happened yet. And it's kind of sad, you know?
It really is sad. You're basically guilty until proven innocent.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that, you know, he you know, even Le'Veon Bell, the Pittsburgh Steelers, suspending him for smoking a joint. I'm sorry, man. They're acting like this guy's doing hard fucking drugs. So, to me, you know, the guy wasn't shooting up meth. Smoking weed, man. To me, I don't see how that really is going to affect somebody playing the game of football. I'm sorry. It's, you know, you get high, it lasts a couple of hours, and that's it. So, to suspend a star player that brings revenue in jersey sales and helps put asses in the stands,
Yeah.
you're hurting your bottom line.
I agree. And the sad thing is, he's a dear Jets fan. He's a pure Jets fan, and I'm sorry, Roger, you're out of your fucking damn mind. I don't understand your inconsistencies that you have. I understand with the whole Ray Rice situation. You've been trying to make up for that ever since. But believe it or not, you've fallen.
Forget it, Donnie. You're out of your element. Whoa.
He's out of his element.
Yeah, and it's just unfortunate that, you know, if there was some form of consistency here, where, like, for example, you had the hit that Juju Smith-Schuster had this past week, which was, there was some helmet contact, but you could totally see that he leaned with his shoulder and his arms. Got a 1-game suspension. And then you see what Rob Gronkowski does to the defender of the Buffalo Bills, who's laying on the damn floor already. Mm-hmm. And he gets tackled. And, not tackled. He gets hit or blindsided. Gives him a concussion. And he's out of game. And believe it or not, people say, oh, it's a concussion. He could end up going back into the field sooner or later, within a week or so. There's only so many concussions a human body can really endure. Anytime that you've been hit really hard, like you may have banged your head on a door, or you hit your back of your head by the table, you actually may have been concussed.
Yeah, that's very true.
Your brain gets some swelling, and water and a pocket develops. And you might not be feeling it now, but you may be feeling it 10, 20, 30 years later when you can't wipe your own fucking ass because you're already feeling the after effects of it.
Absolutely, and that goes into quality of life, man. And that's what I'm saying. The quality of the product on the field is already being hurt by these dumbass suspensions. These players that are, haven't been convicted of anything. There's only been accusations.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say that all of these players are innocent. That's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is, don't hand down a suspension until an actual court has ruled that this player fucked up. Yeah. Until this player goes to trial and is convicted of something, then hand out the suspension. Don't hand it out just because it might have happened. I mean, that's like, you or I going to work and one of our coworkers that doesn't like us makes up a lie.
Yeah.
And says, oh man, I saw them snorting a line of coke in the car before work. And that's something that you and I don't touch, but yet it becomes a rumor. People in the office start saying, oh my God.
Yo, did you see Zach?
Yeah, see Jack and Jed doing lines of cocaine. And then you're there and you're thinking, no. And then they're like, oh, well, we have video you in your car hanging out for 30 minutes. And it's like, well, it's called maybe I was hanging out in my car on my lunch on the phone with my wife.
Yeah.
Oh, but you had something in your nose. Maybe I was blowing my nose. Maybe I had some Flonase for my allergies. The point we're trying to make, folks,
there's too much
is that any accusation these days can fuck you.
Yeah.
And,
hearsay,
it's
someone
horrible.
who may hate you, who just makes shit up. Like, believe it or not, some of these, sexual allegations could just be made up for these people who are accusing them for
they could
fame.
be. Because, listen, I understand, it's a sensitive subject. Women who are coming out now accusing folks, men of sexual assault. I'm not saying I don't believe all of them, but at the same time, there is part of me that is skeptical. And I'm sorry, I know that sounds cruel. I know I sound like an asshole. But if it's been, 20, 30 years since said, allegation happened.
What's changed
for
you to say something?
It's hard not to think, are you doing this for political reasons?
Yeah.
But then the playing devil's advocate is they say, oh, well, it's strength in numbers. And I said, okay, well, I get that, but if this hurt you and you've been living with this pain for so long, should you not have at least, made some type of report, some type of call for help? And I know people will say, oh, they were scared, they were too scared to do it. But hey, no matter when you come out with it, whether that's the day after, a year after, 10 years, 20, 30, whatever years after, you're still putting yourself on a limb. You're putting yourself out there. Mm-hmm. So, to me, I would rather, God forbid something happened to me where I felt I was abused, I'd come out right away. And, again, I've, thankfully have never been in that position. So I can't sit here and say that I know what it feels like or I know what women should do. But if you look at the timing, and listen, I'm not Republican. And from what it sounds like, Roy Moore, there is a lot of legitimate dirt on him. But then you got to question, is all of it legitimate?
Yeah, what's the entire motive?
So, I don't know. It's an ass whip. It really is. But since we're on the subject of
the
NFL, more big news, coaching news, if you will. Uncle Rico himself, Ben McAdoo, if you don't know who I'm referring to, he was finally let go by the New York Giants. And what was his record? What's the Giants' record this season?
The Giants have
hold on.
Back in '82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin a quarter mile.
Oh, here's Uncle Rico himself.
I'm dead serious. Watch this.
Uncle Rico, classic scene. Throws the steak.
What the heck are you doing? That's what I'm talking about.
You can't tell me that Ben McAdoo doesn't kind of look like Uncle Rico.
Oh my god. Especially the new hairstyle he had. Like last year he had a big spike. Kind of stylish. Cool. Now he looks like a fucking... wet mongoose. That's what he looks like.
He kind of looks like somebody that would be accused of sexual assault.
Yeah, he would be on the list. Stay tuned.
Sorry, we're not trying to make light of sexual assault. We're just saying that if you see Ben McAdoo, he looks kind of creepy.
Maybe he
That's all we're
joins
saying.
Isaiah Thomas on that list. We forgot
Oh
to
my
say
gosh.
him. Manuka Sanders. Now, Ben McAdoo made probably one of the biggest mistakes that I can ever see a coach ever could do.
It's almost like he wanted to get fired.
He took a future Hall of Famer in Eli Manning, even though he may suck, right now.
He has two Super Bowls.
He may suck right now, but let's look at it. He has no O-line. All of his wide receivers are basically...
Yeah, he has nobody to throw to except Evan Ingram. That's it.
They're all in a rehab clinic right now. He has no running game.
Nope.
So what is he supposed to do? He's not freaking Russell Wilson where he could run the football himself. Yeah. So, yes, the Giants are going to suck because of that. But, let's do this. Let's make a change. Half of New York City is like, okay, maybe, we
put
can
in the rookie.
Davis Webb.
See what you got.
From the lovely state of California, UCLA Pride. Maybe you see what the third-round draft pick has to offer. No! You know what he does? Decides to put in Geno Smith. We've seen what you look like in New York already wearing green and white. You fucking suck. Alright?
Geno Smith, the pride of the Bible Belt.
You freaking got in a fight with your own damn teammate and you got knocked the fuck out. Alright?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And then that resurrected Ryan Fitzpatrick's career. So we know what that story went through.
But, to me, when I read the story, Eli got benched. My first thought was, okay, they're going to see what the rookie has. But then when I read it was Geno Smith, I thought to myself, okay, Ben McAdoo is just asking to be fired. He's clearly does not give a flying fuck. He's done.
Yeah.
And, that's it. So, I guess...
And the funny thing is, the owner, John Mara, said that you could take Eli out from plays. He didn't say that you could break his streak and start Geno. That's what he was telling. He was telling him, hey, Eli could probably play the first quarter, second quarter, see how it's going, and play it by ear. Then you could put Geno. You have my permission to substitute Geno Smith in the game with Eli starting. You want to keep the streak alive. That's like the one thing he has going. He's going after Brett Favre's record. Not many players have that. They do. A lot of people don't even realize how hard it is to play 210 straight fucking games, especially when you're a quarterback and quarterbacks just go down. Aaron Rodgers has gone down with season-ending injuries twice in the last 5 years. You have the Minnesota Vikings losing 2 quarterbacks already this year. You have
and they're doing well with Case Keenum.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then you have Andrew Luck, who's considered bread and butter. He's out all year. They don't realize that how much pain that they go through to actually play these games. And the fact that he was able to play 210 straight games was
and this is getting
amazing.
Hit by guys that weigh 300 pounds that could run like track stars.
Their O-line did not do them any, the franchise did not do them any favors at all. Jerry Reese got fired as well. Ben McAdoo and him are, probably sitting on the pick-a-sip lines in New York City hanging out with fake Elmo and fake Mickey Mouse trying to get some money and pictures and shit. But, I think the biggest staple for Ben McAdoo, last year he went 11-5 in his first season. This year he's 2-10. I've never seen the New York Giants ever fire somebody in the middle of the season. But, John Mara said, we're going to do it at the end of the season anyways. Let's do it now so we can get ahead of the schedule.
Now, here's the real question, though, Jed. Had he not benched Eli, would he still have his job today?
Probably so.
I agree. I think that was the final nail in the coffin. And because of that, that's why he doesn't have a job.
Yeah. There's a clip that I want to play that is probably my most memorable moment of John Mara. There was a game that they played early this season. It took place around the first week of November. The Giants were getting their ass whooped like every game this season. And they asked Ben, what did you say to your team at halftime to make adjustments? And let's hear what his response was.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So they asked him, so what did you say to your team on halftime to make adjustments and get them riled up for the second half? He says, that's it. Herm Edwards would have had a whole speech.
Yeah, Herm would have said, guys, we play to win the game.
Yeah. Hello? Yeah. So there goes your motivational speaker. If he was ever looking for a secondary career, he's not going to join the likes of, Rex Ryan or even Herm Edwards, who was doing it for a little bit, and even freaking Ray Lewis. So his career as a motivational speaker is shit. There you go.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
And on the other side of the fence.
Oh, yeah. Hugh Jackson.
Hugh Jackson. Seabass's Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, Seabass and his Cleveland Browns. So they've won. What is Hugh Jackson's record now? 2 and
no, they don't have a win this year, do they?
But didn't they win 2 games last year?
Yes.
The last quarterback to win on a Sunday
was Johnny Manziel
was Johnny Football.
Yeah.
For the Cleveland Cavaliers. Oops, sorry about that, folks. Wrong button.
Yeah. They fire their general manager.
Which I agree. You had a chance to take Carson fucking Wentz. And you just,
They just need... There's something just wrong with that entire franchise when it comes to their name. When I think Browns, even though you're naming it after Paul Brown, I'm thinking of doo-doo. Alright? Their uniforms are doo-doo. It's brown and orange. Probably one of the worst combinations in anything I've seen in sports. Is there any other franchise that has an orange and brown color combination that you can think of? No. There you go.
No.
So don't pull a Ben McAdoo on me.
No. I was actually going to come up with an answer. I mean,
what do you think?
I know you have the Oklahoma State Cowboys. They have orange. The UTSA Roadrunners have orange, but there's no brown.
There's blue. That's about it, right? Yeah. A more complementary color. Maybe UPS even has a better combination. Brown and gold. So
yeah, even that's better.
Yeah, and their stadium. Yeah, if they call themselves the Dog Pounds, why don't you just call them the Cleveland Bulldogs or something like that?
Oh, yeah, seriously. You know what? Because what the fuck's a brown? And it's like, oh, it's named after the former owner, and I'm like, dude, come on.
It's like disgusting. Like, yeah. So there's that whole. What we need to do is get. Was the Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. That old school hit that was back in the early 2000s. Get them to go into the front office, change their whole interior decorating over there, and then change their whole outfit.
No, they should.
Change their name. They say, no, you don't seem like a brown. You seem more like a bull. Yeah, you seem more like a bull instead. It's that franchise is a mess. But cheers to Hugh. At least the one thing I think that at least can say is that they're giving him a chance. They don't think they gave him a fair shot.
Yeah, but in Hugh's defense, he hasn't had much to work with.
But sometimes, they say that consistency sometimes can breed a culture. Sometimes you just can't do consistency for just consistency's sake, though.
Well, I think this is going to be a make or break year this next season for Hugh, because obviously a new GM, he's going to come in, hopefully make some decent picks for Cleveland, and I'm not saying they have to make the playoffs, but it's looking every day like this team is going 0-16. So if they were to win 4 to 5 games next season, I think that would be enough to get them another season.
And to mention the Kansas City Chiefs again, the general manager of the Browns is John Dorsey. He was the former...
and he had some success in Kansas City. Hell, he drafted Travis Kelce in the 3rd round. So the guy clearly knows some talent. The thing that I read on Dorsey is he wasn't really good when it came to cap management. But in terms of scouting talent, he was great. So from what I read... a lot of those Ivy League folks, they kept on board for cap management purposes.
Former Met general manager, too, on that staff.
So they're going to at least allow Dorsey to evaluate the talent, which he has had some success doing that. So I think that's a good move for the Browns.
Yeah, the only small controversy behind getting Dorsey is whether or not the Browns violated the Rooney Rule.
Oh.
Yeah. Did they give a brother or a Latino brother?
But they kept Hugh, and he was black, so...
So it's like, well, they fired a black guy and replaced him with a white guy. I don't know. It's like, okay, we could say we gave a guy a chance, but just that's just something I want to let everybody know that may be overlooked and mainstream media is not going to talk about, just so you know that very much. All right? So let's go on to life itself. Maybe a little fun relaxation topic here.
Oh, yes. I'm going to play this song for some mood music. All right. Because, hey, we've all had those relationships in our life where, it's kind of easy. But then we got our heart ripped out of our ass, too. So today we're going to talk about those easy lovers, if you will, that, you would send some, I guess
some
you would...
back forward?
Yeah, you would trade some photos.
Yeah.
Some trading cards.
So, we're wondering, if conversations about dick pics, breast pics, sexual pics of any kind to a significant other or someone's interest. I don't know if you wanted to share
your
insight or possible personal experience.
Well, no, I gotta be honest. I think I've been freaky in my time in terms of relationships, but I never dated a woman that ever wanted to send me a tit pic. I would ask, and they'd be like, no. And I said, I'm not going to show anybody, which I would have kept my word because, I think that's fucked up. But point is, I guess my dick wasn't good enough to show. I mean, nobody ever asked me, so.
Yeah. I've always said, can't send a dick pic because it adds 10 pounds,
Hey,
because she truly had
but you know what? It's kind of like that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. One of my idols, Larry David. I mean, let's be honest, man. Penises are ugly, and balls. I mean, even though women like getting pleasured by a dick, by a penis, excuse me. I know women that said penises are ugly. They have their function, but it's not like I don't think women take a look at a penis and they're like, oh man, that's a beautiful thing, unless you're packing a 12-incher, that's fucking fully manicured or something, and she's like, oh my god, kind of like that scene in Bachelor Party with Nick the Dick.
Oh god.
Point is, if someone wants to trade a dick pic for a tit pic, hey, you do you, man.
Yeah, you're right that honestly, I don't know what woman would be fascinated to see a penis. I'm not to say that all penises are created equally. I'm not gonna sword fight you here. Let's be honest. You have penises that are circumcised. You have penises that are uncircumcised. You have black. You have white. You have pale as day.
But Michael Jackson said it doesn't matter if you're black or white.
Oh jeez. But you have small. You have large. Whatsoever. And honestly, I'm not female, so I don't know what truly gets them aroused. I've heard some females say to me they look at a guy's ass. But let's be truthful here. When a girl says they look at a guy's ass and they find, oh, his ass is amazing. Well, you're not gonna see his ass. In the middle of intercourse, you're never going to see his ass.
Well, let's think about that. Him. Exactly. You have people that are into that shit, man. Not me. Fuck no. But there are people that I think. What is it called?
I'll pull it up.
I think the term is called pegging.
It is pegging. Yes.
So some people are into that, and it doesn't mean they're gay.
Yeah.
Apparently, they just like their prostate massaged by something that looks like a dick.
Get your prostate checked often.
But point is, I guess that would be a woman's way of being able to see a guy's ass, but still, it's. I mean, hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm a manimal. My ass is hairy, and I don't know what woman would find my ass attractive, literally. So for me, I don't know.
The whole concept of a dick pic is that Aziz Ansari talked about this on his one of his specials. Oh, this was freaking hilarious. I wish you could hear this one. But he sends a text message to a girl. He says, "Hey, how's you doing?" Says, "Oh, doing quite fine. I'm totally excited to see you." Dick pic. There it goes.
Well,
But it says it the minute he says, "I'm excited to hear from you." Dick pic.
But is there certain etiquette though? Do you have to be in a relationship, or could it just be that dating phase where it kind of goes back to the old, hey, you show me yours, I'll show you mine. Is it kind of that thing, or like I said, I think maybe in one relationship, maybe two in my entire 30 years of life, did I request a tit pic, and I think I was close with one of my exes, but then they flaked out at the last minute. Yeah.
You know what's funny? When you're thinking about that, it takes a brave man, because girls probably got plenty of those dick pics. I've never really sent a dick pic. I can honestly say I never sent one. But I bet you every single one was probably aroused. Right? It is that one guy that, like, he could send it to the girl and says, hey, missing you. Sad face. Penis that's not erect. Missing you. I bet you that will probably get a better response. What if there was like a crying penis meme instead of crying Jordan?
A
crying penis meme where the penis is not erect and it's like, I'm missing you. I bet you that is more likely to get a response than an erect penis.
But but here's my thing, breast or breast. Even breast gay guys amazing. Like breasts.
I like boobs.
So that's what I'm saying. Even women like boobs. There's women that could see a pair of boobs and appreciate the beauty in breasts. But again, even gay men, straight women, lesbians, straight men, everyone likes boobs.
Yeah.
So it's like, who would get offended by a tit pic? You know what I mean? Well, I think that's how we could achieve world peace. Is by, we send beautiful women to these countries where it's like
their profession.
Yeah, we send some professionals out there, a war-torn country.
Send the big guns.
And they go in topless. Yeah, the big guns. Hey, that's world peace right there. And I'm not trying to sound sexist or a chauvinist pig. I'm just saying.
Hey, even Bruce Wayne used the big guns.
Hey,
Superman.
He did. I mean, Amy Adams. Woo. So the point I'm trying to make is sometimes, just like Michael Jackson said. This song's a Star Wars song, by the way. Did you just hear him say the Force has a lot of power? And he was a big Star Wars fan?
I think it was him getting the Force up his ass.
Nah, man. Michael Jackson. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. This song is about using the Force, man.
So, to conclude, probably in the best way, honestly, to address the whole dick pic,
is don't stop till you get enough.
Well, honestly,
if that's what you're into, or
honestly, I think the everybody wants to know timing is important in anything, right? Anytime that you probably flirted with a person of interest or even a significant other, that comes natural, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is probably better for the guy to ask the girl first. Say, hey, babe, I wish I was with you, missing you. What are you wearing, or something like that? And then like, oh. Where the guns at? Where the girls at? I missed them too.
Oh, you mean in Blazing Saddles? Where the white women at?
Where the white women at, right? And you're probably gonna get, a nice boob pic. And I said, if you have a name for your penis, which could probably be a fucking another topic on this show, say, hey, you mind if I send you a dick pic in return? Politely ask.
We're gonna try to get Seabass on the line right now. Let's see if he answers.
Yeah.
I just sent him a text.
Yeah. I don't think he may answer though.
Well, it's worth a shot. Is he gonna leave us hanging? He's gonna be the first call in the history of this podcast, and it's gonna be a damn voice.
Been forwarded to an automatic
lame.
Bob Saget.
Bob fucking Saget.
Yeah. But yeah, with me, I said I've never done a dick pic at all, but I'll tell you this. I've gone FaceTime, I've gone Skyping, showing my damn John.
Oh, Seabass is calling in. Hey, we got Seabass on the line. All right, Seabass, we're going to ask you a quick question because we are on the topic of dick pics and tit pics. I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you think it's
appropriate to send them?
It's appropriate to send them. Should you reciprocate if one sends the other? What are your thoughts?
If there's a good time to do it.
I feel so special. I feel like I'm calling in, and I'm an important person, like a valued guest. So
you are.
Yeah, numero uno.
Here's my take. And maybe I'm in the minority, but this is just my take.
You should be used to that. You already are a minority.
Well, there is that. I can't imagine the scenario other than maybe my wife and kids have been kidnapped and they're being held at gunpoint. Where I think it's ever a good idea to send a dick pic. Ever. I don't care.
I'm still trying to put this
who it
together.
is. I don't care if it's Mariah Carey wanting me to send a pic and then go to her house and do whatever. I am never going to get my iPhone out and snap a picture of my dick. Ever.
Even if
never
Mariah Carey
happen.
was going to send you a picture of her tits and ass and everything else?
Absolutely. I would never take a picture of a penis.
Okay,
So-
but would you accept a picture?
Yeah, if someone wants to give me a picture or something, right? You know, I'm like a single man out in the world, and I'm looking for some news or whatever. By all means, I'll take pictures of some boobies.
Would you at least reciprocate? If it's nice enough for her.
Yeah. What if the woman who sends you the tit pic says, "Okay, I showed you mine. Now show me yours." I mean, how do you respond?
I'll show a picture of my chest. But I'm sorry. I'd have to look a little crosswise at a woman who wants to see a picture of my dick.
Would you?
You know what I mean? Because women aren't visual like men are. Men are visual, right? We need that. They're not. They're much
emotional.
more about the emotional, the heart, all that kind of stuff. So when you come across women, now I'm not. This is not to impugn any women that might be listening to this who happen to like receiving dick pics, but just me, my own thing, Seabass, my own personal thing is, I will never take a picture of my dick. And I will never, ever, even if I happen to have a picture of it, I'm not going to send it. And number three, I'm probably not going to be feeling a woman who wants to see a picture of my dick.
Yeah. Would you go like Google Pics and just
Google a pic of another dick
and then just
say, okay,
No, and
here
I'll
it
tell
is.
you why. Because for thereafter, once I hit send on my phone, even if it's not really my dick, it's going to be out there in the world that, hey, this is Jason Triple's dick.
That's what you choose.
But what if it's an impressive dick?
There's no such thing. Dicks are ugly, vile-looking things.
Well, that's what I was saying. Larry David even said that in Curb Your Enthusiasm. I mean, penises. Even women that like getting fucked by a penis, they still don't want to look at them.
Yeah, they don't want to look at it.
But
No one wants to look
tits,
at
on
it.
the other hand, and we've already
Beautiful
talked
works of
about
art.
this. Gay men, straight men, hell, straight women love breasts. Who doesn't
Everybody does.
love titties? And Jed and I were just saying that if more women showed their breast freely, that would help create world peace.
Absolutely. It would drastically cut down on heart attack and heart disease, everything.
Diabetes. I'll kill you.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
And it's so easy,
I agree. I just don't understand why, people are being so stingy with it.
Yeah, like when I get on an airplane, I pay all this fucking money for a seat. What if you could upgrade to first class? Because first, let's call it what it is. And you should know this, Seabass. The flight attendants in first class are always hotter than the ones in coach.
I think that is. I hear that. But
At
I
least
think that
on
might be your
Delta.
brain. That's your brain messing with you. I'll tell you why. Because it's kind of like the same phenomena as when you are eating fine dining, right? End of the day, a steak's a steak, right? Like there might be a better cut at a nicer restaurant, but for the most part, when you go to a fine dining restaurant, it's less about the actual food you're consuming and much more about
The company.
the accoutrement that you have around you, the ambiance, the dining, the tablecloth, but everything around you that makes that food all of a sudden seem that much better. And I would make the argument that when you're sitting in them 2-3 inch wider seats, and there's no one sitting next to you, and there ain't no screaming babies, and the seat's leather and not that weird cloth that everyone is suspect at best, and you're actually getting like hot towels and the whole 9 yards. All of a sudden, the flight attendants start looking a lot better looking, right? Because you're in a better state of mind. They're the same flight attendants. They're the same ones. They just happen to be on that flight that's handling first class that time. Next flight, they're in coach. You know what I mean? It's the same women. They just appear to look better because...
Well, don't get me wrong. I've had some beautiful flight attendants in coach, too. I'm not saying that, they're all... that they're all ugly. But what I was getting at is... Could you imagine if flying in first class, you paid a little extra to see them topless? I mean, come on.
Well, I think that there's definitely a market for that. Heck, there was even a Hooters Airlines for a while. And I'm willing to bet that there is a market for, topless flight attendants. Now, I don't know if that market is worth the cost to the airline, but I don't think you're alone in that regard.
I think we should start this company, a topless flight attendant, airline. I think the ticket sales would be through the roof.
It's going to be a hard sell.
Well, something would be hard.
Good luck. Good luck passing the Food Drug Administration test.
Well, I mean, if they got restaurants where women are unclothed, so I can imagine it. Here's my only thing that I'd be worried about. Excuse me. I'd be worried that something were to go wrong. Right? Like, what happens if all of a sudden there's a decompression or we're about to make an emergency landing, right? How could you? Well, maybe this is just me because I'm crazy, but how could I focus on getting that door open, that window open when I have nude boobs flopping all around?
Well, then you're gonna die happy. I mean, the last thing you're gonna see is tits. I mean, there's worse ways to go, right?
There is definitely worse ways to go. As I'm sitting there having this conversation in front of my 4-year-old, so this is awesome.
Hey, they haven't developed a conscience yet, so you're fine. Well, what if a phone conversation you're just talking to a significant other, right? And you just decide to FaceTime. I know you probably FaceTime family members or probably your significant other. And it just so happened you're all flirting and stuff like that.
Sure.
What about, I'd be like, hey, I'm in my bed, wishing you good night and stuff. I miss you. Let me see a boob before I go to bed or something like that. She'll show you that. And then it says, hey, I can show you something before you go to bed too. And then it becomes freaking basically virtual sex.
Well, I've tried that, and again, men are visual, women are not. And the lady in question, my wife, had no interest at all in seeing any parts of me. So, it is what it is.
Bob fucking Saget. I'm beside myself. It's to me, it's a goddamn shame, but I do think we all agree that if breasts were more freely and readily available and women were more open to just flaunting and showing what they got,
yeah,
and being proud of what they have, it would be a much better world. Well,
you got society making it seem like, any woman who shows her boob out to the public, it's a federal offense of some sort. That, she's showing a private part. Blah,
it's like,
blah,
I want to
blah.
know who the fuck are these people that are offended.
Well, Seabass used to live in the New York City like I did, and I don't know if you remember ever hearing this, Seabass, but it's true. Women can walk topless in public in the middle of the street in New York City.
Oh, I saw that when I was there last time in Times Square. You had chicks wearing, little pasty things,
No, but
it left zero to the imagination.
Well,
though.
they could take that pasty off and just show the areola and everything, and straight up nipples and stuff. They can do that.
That's a
legally.
beautiful thing.
And the funny thing is, I've always said this jokingly with my sister because there was a woman who did it back. Breast Cancer Awareness Month. They always have a walk for the tatas of some sort, and there was a woman who did it a little bit early than normal, and a cop saw her, arrested her for quote unquote indecent exposure. That girl got over $500,000 from NYPD because that police officer wasn't even aware of a law that protected her.
Oh, wow.
So I was like saying to my sister, say, hey, you want to pay for condoms? Just take your tatas out in the middle
Whoa,
of
whoa, bro. Jeez, yeah. That's odd. See, as far as I'm concerned, my sister doesn't even have that. So I don't even know what you're talking about. Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, God. all right, gentlemen. I got a bed full of kids here. I can't be having this conversation. I'm going to let y'all have it.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Seabass. We'll talk to you later, man. He was having that in front of his kids. That makes it even better.
It's like, hey, that's how they're born. A dick pic.
From a man that claims he has no sex life.
He's
got 3 kids. So we know he at least had sex 3 times.
Yeah. I would have taught Seabass the master of the pull-out.
He might be.
Yeah.
Hey,
so what's next on the docket?
This is exciting news, folks. So for all of you Marvel fans out there, have you guys heard? Have you guys heard the news? All you Marvel fanboys, Disney is in talks to purchase Fox, which means X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool?
Yeah, we'll include Deadpool.
Will now be a part of the Disney universe, means that we might be able to see X-Men, Deadpool, and the Fantastic Four in an Avengers film.
Yeah, and don't forget the Fantastic Four.
Yes, I said the Fantastic Four.
Oh, shit. Wait, the Silver Surfer?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, dude, you know what I think they should do? They should do a Marvel Zombies. It could be a standalone film, and if they wanted to, make it, part of the continuity of the current timeline, they could literally just end the movie with it being like a bad dream that Doctor Strange had.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, I think the movie would make a fuck ton of money.
Yeah. If this purchase happens around Christmas time, which I think it will, and with Deadpool happening in February,
you could install Nest products.
Oh, it would just be nuts, man.
I honestly think that Kevin Feige is probably jizzing his pants.
Oh, I guarantee he's jizzing his pants.
And he's probably going to grab Ryan Reynolds and say, we're doing an extra credit scene to say, hey, guys, did you see this newspaper? Like, he already is aware of his surroundings. So he could just be the master
breaks the fourth wall, right?
Yeah, breaks the fourth wall and be the master of ceremonies about the whole Fox properties now becoming part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, it's too late. Hugh Jackman is not coming back.
Huge Jackman.
Huge Jackman. He's not coming back. And I have no idea why the Power Rangers have any relevance to this.
I just liked this song and I thought it fit the mood.
But, yeah. If this happens, I'm probably going to buy some stock in Disney. I actually already have stock in Disney. Probably only 10 shares, I think, from my previous time there. But I will buy some incredible stock in Disney. Unless Donald Trump decides to fuck it up.
Probably.
Yeah. It's Just imagine the Dark Phoenix saga actually truthfully being what it truthfully is, with her killing the entire comic books series. We're talking about some people that really haven't been treated well in the whole Fox film properties, like Archangel. Mm-hmm. Gambit, where the fuck is he?
Allegedly, isn't Channing Tatum gonna do that?
Yeah, when's that movie supposed to be coming out?
Oh God, I don't know.
And then you have also Jubilee.
Oh, I forgot about her.
Jubilee hasn't been treated right. You know, the Brotherhood really hasn't. The Blob, just been. I'm really distracted by this video that you're playing.
Well, it's Guardians Infernal, Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's like a random vomit dancing.
Well, this is David Hasselhoff, man.
Oh God. Oh shit. So you're telling me the Guardians will be excited to bump into the Silver Surfer?
Could you imagine Deadpool with Rocket Raccoon? I mean, that shit writes itself.
Oh yeah. Galactus becoming the next villain.
I mean, seriously, Deadpool would be like, "Hey, you're a raccoon. You talk.
Yeah.
You're so cute."
Yeah. Says, "Hey, do you have a thumb?" Yeah, plug it in your ass.
I mean, dude, the comedy writes itself. Speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, and so we're talking about, sex and, cochino stuff. Okay, Zoe Saldana's Gamora. I think she looks hot green. Call me crazy. But here's the real question. If Gamora's green, and she is female, meaning she has a vagina, what color is the vagina? Is it still, pink on the inside like most, or is it green, or...
Like they say, the greener the berry, the sweeter the juice.
No, I'm serious. Could you imagine a scene with Deadpool saying, "Hey, so does the carpet match the drapes, or what? You're an alien?" And then, Gamora slaps him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, the
I think she
comedy writes
lasers it
itself.
down there.
Maybe.
Yeah. She has a giant sword. She has swords, she can just go...
And then you got
What's that?
Nebula. I mean, does she even have a vagina, or is it like mechanical? She's like blue and has spare parts and shit.
I guess you could get a vagina part.
I mean, these are questions we need to know.
Yes. Well, I think Nebula is probably gonna kill Thanos. Sorry to spoil it for everybody.
Really?
That's how he dies in the comics.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, I was putting my money on Doctor Strange.
Nah.
I haven't read any spoilers, but that's just, I feel like Doctor Strange just has so much power.
Yeah. You think Stan Lee's gonna get a giant boner if this happens?
I don't know. Stan Lee's making money hands over fist. I don't think he gives a flying fuck what happens.
Oh yeah.
So what's up next on the docket? Because I know we're
winding down.
We're winding down.
So I don't know about you, but I usually don't want to skip it. Is our crying Jordans and smiling Jordans? We could probably just say it pretty quickly so people at least know.
I mean, shit. Mine's Al Franken.
Al Franken?
Yep.
Well, mine is going to be Warren Moon.
It's a good one.
Yes. And your smiling Jordan?
Oh, my smiling Jordan of the week is Star Wars fans. Just because it's we have a week now to opening night, and I'm beyond fucking excited.
Yeah. Mine is Eli Manning.
Oh, getting his job back?
Yeah, and watching Ben McAdoo get fired. He's probably happy. Secretly.
Probably.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of happy watching Christopher Walken dance right now.
Yeah. So, normally I would tell you to pull out Sam Spence. And we're getting to the latter part of our show. And it is our NFL picks. So we had a game yesterday, and we already picked that one between Atlanta and the New Orleans Saints. Freaking Matt Ryan threw about 4 picks on that game, and Drew Brees had a couple himself.
All right, NBA picks. I mean NFL picks.
We're gonna do it with this music.
With the NBA music because it's just epic.
Oh my gosh. So, the first game is your Dallas Cowboys going into New Jersey to face the New York
picking
Giants.
the New York Giants because Eli Manning he's going to be motivated. They're going to be playing under Steve Spagnuolo, and I just think it's going to be a statement game for them. And my hope is if the Cowboys lose, Jerry Jones says "fuck you" to Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
So I'm picking the Giants in an upset.
I think Roger Goodell will be at this game because his office is in New Jersey.
He's gonna make sure that the Giants win.
Yeah, but I think if Dak Prescott doesn't get his shit together, that Jerry Jones is gonna get out on the field, and like Herm Edwards said, that he has one good hit left. I think Jerry has one good throw left. So
Or he's gonna call Tony Romo.
yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. Then next game we have at the docket the Green Bay Packers at the Cleveland Browns.
You know what?
3-point favorites are the Packers.
I know I say this every week. This is the Browns' week because they're going against Brett Hundley. If they were going against Aaron Rodgers, this wouldn't even be a topic. But they know they have their coach for next season. So I think they're going to play for Hugh, and they're going to come out with the W.
Yeah. The over-under is 40 points, just letting you know. So it's going to be a very...
I'm going the under.
Yeah. I say that the under, but I'm going against you. I think Aaron Williams had a great game last week for Green Bay, and the Packers pull out. So far, I got 2 visitors going. You have 2 home people. Next game, the San Francisco 49ers travel to Texas to face the blizzard that is the Houston Texans after they finally face snow.
They might as well just call this the shit show bowl, but I guess I'll go Niners since they got Garoppolo. And I'll take Garoppolo over Savage.
Yes, it's going to be a Savage score. They have this as a push right now. And I will totally go with you and agree, actually, for the first time in this one. 49ers over the Houston Texans. Then we have another 1 o'clock game with the Chicago Bears facing a no Vontaze Burfict Cincinnati Bengals team. The Bengals are actually 6-point favorites.
I guess I'm going with the Bengals just because the Bears suck.
Mitch the bitch isn't going to do anything to make this team look good at all this season. So Cincinnati will win this game. So I agree with you. Next game is another 1 o'clock game, and it's actually probably one of the better matchups.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one.
Minnesota Vikings travel to Carolina to play the Panthers. I don't know.
I'm going Case Keenum and the Vikings.
I'm going Cam.
Of course you are.
I love Cam, man. For those who don't know, I'm a Cam fan, and Seabass has the Browns as his secondary team. Panthers is my secondary team. So I'm a homer. I'm going with the Panthers. Next game, Detroit Lions facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Both of those teams are playing pretty shitty.
So look, what's the bet? Look, you see this? Everything else has something, right?
This is a push?
They have nothing. No one's betting on this game.
I guess I'll just pick Tampa Bay because every week I pick Detroit, they lose. So
yeah. I'm probably going to go Tampa Bay too. I'm just rooting for them because they've been doing really shitty, and I need the Jets to get further in the top 10 in the draft. Yeah, a little biased there. Oakland Raiders visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs have been shit as of late. I don't know how the fuck they are a -4 favorite. I say the Raiders actually will pull this one out.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. All right, next game. I have the Bills facing the Indianapolis Colts at home.
I'm going Bills. Tyrod Taylor.
So this says here, line not available due to questionable players. Line will be posted as soon as more information is available. So that really did get to us about this game too. Tyrod Taylor?
Yeah.
I agree.
If he plays, yes.
Mm-hmm. So here's a 4 o'clock game, which is probably one of the closest to call games. The New York Jets travel to Mile High.
I'm going with the Jets in the upset.
No! But, okay, I guess that's probably what's going to happen. Josh McCown's going to probably kill him. Broncos suck donkey balls this year. Washington Redskins at Los Angeles Chargers. What do you think?
Washington Redskins versus the Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers.
Go Chargers!
Go Chargers, go!
Yeah, -6 favorites. Washington's going all the way across the other side of the damn seaboard to face the Chargers in an empty-ass stadium. So, I think it's going to be pretty good. Tennessee Titans going to face Arizona. You think Herm Edwards would be at this game?
That'd be funny. But I'm going Tennessee Titans.
Yeah. Arizona, I don't know who your quarterback is, and Adrian Peterson is probably going to get gang tackled. He was probably better off putting lube on every Sunday instead of a jock strap. So, be prepared to get fucked, Adrian Peterson. Seattle Seahawks. This is probably...
Ooh, that might be the...
Jacksonville Jaguars.
That could be a Super Bowl preview. And I'm not even joking.
Blake Bortles, here we go. I don't know. It's going to be a very tough game.
You know what? I'm going Jags. Jags got the better defense. The Seattle Seahawks have been hurting on defense, have a lot of their best players injured. I'm going Jaguars.
Yeah. I wish you heard what Jalen Ramsey...
Yeah, I heard it. That was good.
He's like perennial Super Bowl contender all the time. Says, yeah, there's a contender. What's that? Y'all need to stop just,
hyping people up.
Yeah, hyping people up, man. Just another game, right?
Yep.
So, I'm going to go with Jalen Ramsey and Jacksonville Jaguars also. How about this game coming up? Philadelphia Eagles at Los Angeles Rams. That's the Sunday night game.
I'm going with the Rams.
What?
Jared Goff.
I think the Eagles are going to redeem himself, though.
Jared Goff's going to go in there and be like, fuck you, Carson. I was the number 1 pick, not you.
Pennsylvania's going to kick some ass.
And I like Todd Gurley better than anybody that Philly has running behind
You
Carson.
don't like Jay Ajayi?
He's all right. Don't get me wrong. They have some good players, but Todd Gurley is a special talent.
Yeah. Then the last game, which is the Monday night. Well, no, it's not the Monday night. It's the Sunday night game. Got that confused. Sorry, everybody. Pittsburgh Steelers are back on prime time to face the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens are a playoff contender. It's freaky.
Yeah, I don't understand
who's on
it.
their damn team other than Joe Flacco?
And that's not even saying much. I'm going Steelers.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't disagree. They might not be a Super Bowl contender now. They lost Ryan Shazier.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Then we got the Monday Night Football game. Oh, everybody's excited for this game. New England Patriots versus Miami Dolphins.
Oh my gosh, is Smokin' Jay playing?
I don't know. I could get 2F. They're only contenders when Matt Moore's playing.
Oh gosh.
And we don't even have to vocalize it. We're going with the red, white, and blue team.
Yeah, it should be an easy win.
So those are our picks, and that basically mostly concludes our show. I don't know about you, buddy. I'm ready for a drink.
Yeah, that's a true story, man. I think we could all use a beverage. So, I'm going to just say thank you to anybody that stumbled onto this strange part of YouTube and decided to give us a listen. We definitely appreciate the support. We're just some working class Joes with families doing this for fun. And subscribe if you want to get more content. We do this once a week. And right
Where can
now,
they find you at?
where they can find me in San Antonio, Texas. You can find me at Twitter, El Guapo number 5.
Yeah. And you can find me on Twitter also at John Says. And we're
also at Going Streaking Sports.
And yeah, we also have that Twitter handle as well at Going Streaking Sports. And you can find us at Going Streaking Sports Podcast on YouTube. Good night, everybody.